needed to get the first sip of coffee out of the way. But hello! Happy New Year! It's 2023. Or should I say, Happy New Year. So, it's a new year and we're back, and this is the video that I always look forward to doing because it is the Techo Kaigi video, which is basically my planners and journals lineup for this year. And it's actually there. You see the stack there? That's basically it. So I'm going to be walking you through all of the journals and planners I'm using this year, and I'm going to spoil it a little bit and say that this is probably the best setup I've had in my entire Techo Kaigi journey, which I think started in 2018. I think that was the first time I put out a video on my lineup, and I feel like over the years I keep finding ways to improve and really figure out what I want out of these journals. Like, is it for documenting, for logging all my projects and everything? So I do hope you enjoy this video because I think in terms of figuring out what I really want to do this year, I hope, fingers crossed, that these tools will help me get there. Because I will be honest, last year was not my favorite in terms of setups. I had to change a lot of things toward mid-year. So you can check out my planners and journals review. I also have a complete playlist of all the journals I've completed. So then you can check that out after watching this video. But first, watch this video because I promise you it's going to be a fun one. And make sure you have coffee, tea, water, wine, whatever you feel like having, and your journals by your side. I do hope you enjoy this, and make sure to keep watching to know more about this stack right here. So first for my lineup will be my work setup. This is the Hobonichi Velluto cover. It fits the Hobonichi cousin, which is the A5 size. So it is a nice green zip case. It's my first time actually using a zip case, and I actually wasn't planning to buy this, and then after much convincing from my actual cousin Val, she said to try it, and it really looks nice. I thought the green would be vibrant, but it's actually very muted and I like it. It's very pleasing to the eyes. And also I really like this detail that says handwrite. I feel like that's so niche, but it's really great. I like the storage of it, and the feel is it's not totally smooth. It has a bit of texture, and I really like that touch. So let's take a look at my setup inside. I'm still working on it, but this is currently what's going on. So as you know, it's a zip case, so there are a lot of things inside that you can store with pockets. So I have yet to work on the index for the months. So I'm using actually Traveler's Notebook sticker set. That is the one that they release every year. I'm going to be using the green one, obviously, to label the months on my Hobonichi cousin. And then apart from that, I also have a bunch of other stickers right here. These are the icon stickers that I produced for the Diarist, which is a journal I created at my shop. I felt like it would be useful for logging stuff or grocery runs or whatever errands I need. So that's right here. I have a bunch of stuff, these are just notes or on-hand ideas, and also I haven't taken out the Hobonichi brochure. I might just leave it there actually. It's just nice to have it. And I have stickers also. So what I plan to do is I want to have extra every time I'm just carrying this around in case I see a friend or meet someone hey, you have a sticker. So that's the plan for that. With regards to the book itself, I have the Hobonichi Techo cousin in English. And if you noticed, I didn't use the front flap and put it right in. I just don't like it. I've always been used to kind of seeing things as they are, and I want to decorate this cover, so you'll see that probably in future videos. So what I did was, I also don't trust myself enough that I can just leave the cover naked. So I covered it with the Midori Codex clear cover, which is the 1-day 1-page. It fits not snug, but it fits really well with the Hobonichi cousin because it's a 1-page 1-day situation as well. The only difference is for Hobonichi, the paper is thinner than Midori. That's why it might not be just exactly fit, but it does the job basically. So I have this, and then I have the Animal Crossing pencil board because I couldn't figure out what pencil board to use that would match. Of course, can you see, like, I wanted everything to match, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the Animal Crossing. I used to play for a bit before during the pandemic, but now I don't really play that much, but it's still very cute. I feel like it's still in theme. And then I decided for the first time ever to assign a pen for my work tasks. So this is the Sailor Manyo Pro Gear Slim in nuts. It's MF, it's medium fine. I got it in San Francisco, and it's currently inked with Nagasawa Kobe number 15, which is Maiko Green. And I'm currently assigning that as like my work planning ink because it's not so all over the place. It's not vibrant, it's really muted. It's the right shade of green that I really like. So here's a quick tour of the cousin. You have the yearly overview. It's pretty much the same. I also just started to write plans. I wrote it in pencil because I didn't really want to pen it in. So currently that's in a work in progress, but at least I know like what to expect for the coming months. And then for the monthlies, I actually plan to write out the content that I'm putting out. So I know like after a month has gone, like where I put up content, where I uploaded this video, what I did. So that's still a work in progress, but I'm definitely gonna look into that as the days go by. So you have the 2023 overview. I think this is up to like 2024 or something, or like January. But the good thing about Cousin, it has like everything that you need. You have a monthly overview, you had a yearly overview earlier. There's also a weekly here. So what I plan to do with the week is like a weekly vertical setup. I know some people like decorate this and stuff, but I really just want to keep my Cousin to like minimum work stuff, like all work related. So I'm gonna dump tasks here as they go. I still haven't worked that out because I'm still setting it up, but once I get the hang of like organizing my workflow, I'll definitely get back to you and show you how I work on my Cousin. So yeah, you have the weekly overview here, and then once we get to the months, the daily rather. So what I did was I actually currently have like some, how do you say this in English, like código, like cheat sheets, so that I know what to write about. So I'm still working on that. I wanted to do like a goal setting page over here. And then here is my month at a glance. So I'm gonna adapt this layout, but obviously I haven't started that much because, you know, the first few days of the year are like kind of wacky. So I'm definitely going to organize stuff like Notion pages, setting up stuff. Also, I have like non-work stuff that I also do, like non-work projects that I also committed to. So I'm gonna write them here as well. So here's a peek at the ink. I really like it so far. So far I just plan to do like dumps and ideas. Until then, that's what it looks like, and I really like it because, well, I can read the quotes now, and I think that's very important. So I want to share with you that I recently found out this interesting thing. Like at the back, there are new features for the Hobonichi Cousin. Like look at this 365 days check-off sheet. That's like really cool. Words to remember, how to enjoy better conversation. My friend did say that in the Hobonichi Weeks English edition, there's also this one, but like the my favorite things is not included. I think it's actually nice. Like you can ask like your friends or family or your loved ones or like your significant other to like write stuff here so that you know more about that person. I think it's really cool because all I know from the past editions is they had these my 100, the graph paper, and the favorites. I was looking for the blank paper so I could do my pen test. So these are the ones that I did pen test with. So this Sailor pen, I also tried the Pilot Custom, as well as a few gel pens that I've been toying around, but I think I'll just settle with the fountain pen since this is Tomoe River paper. It makes sense to use fountain pens. I also use mild liner highlighters for important events or if I have to block stuff in or do time blocking. So yeah, this is gonna be my work setup. The main reason being that last year I had a Jibon Techo Biz and then I had a separate Midori grid notebook for my work plan. So it just didn't make sense to like have everything like separate. I just want everything to be in one. So that is my current work system. So in contrast to the A5, I definitely don't want to bring that everywhere I go. So I decided to get myself an EDC, which is an everyday carry. I saw this in Muji, I think late last year. And I was like, wait, I think this is something that I could definitely use for my system. So this is called a free monthly weekly scheduler or something. I got it from Muji in Berlin, and I decided to incorporate just basic things. Like, I want this to be an errands planner, and it's also undated, so I want to show you what's inside. I didn't really want to decorate the cover. I just printed a photo of sunflowers that I took in Singapore, and then I actually want to use my 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 label, which is in Berlin, to print out 2023 to label it here, just like keeping it minimal. So when I got the notebook, it already had a plastic cover, which is like really great. It's so handy. So I put out some like mental notes and stuff. I still have to like further set up the system, but it's very simple. I just wrote my words for the year, which are slow and steady. And then I decorated the inside with like my name. I always write my name and location and email address. I don't put my number, but I put my email address or my website or my Instagram in case this gets lost and people can find it for me. So this is what it looks like. It's basically undated, and what I did was I labeled everything from January to December. The stickers I use are from Crafts Delight. I'm gonna link it down below. I really love the stickers. They're very much right up my alley in terms of aesthetic. So I also didn't do that much decor and stuff, but this is mostly existing for social events because I have a lot of social events this January as I'm currently home. So you have the monthly overview over there, and then you go to the weekly, which is pretty much like a weekly memo. It's like Hobonichi weeks. So I don't write all the work tasks I have here, but it's just like basic things that I might forget, like I ordered something and they arrived, or like brain dump, I have to figure out expenses and everything. So it's not meant to be decorated. I think I'm gonna give myself that because I realized before that I always force myself to like overstuff and like decorate every journal page, and this isn't really a journal. It's really just like existing for functionality's sake. So that's what I plan to do for this entire thing. So basically, if I'm running errands, if I have to get some work done and I have to go to the cafe, I'm just gonna bring this because it's just the easiest one to like, you know, plan my week and organize chores, organize errands. Like, especially when I'm back in Berlin, I'm going to be working on like a lot of adulting stuff again. So I'm gonna rely on this basically to like help me get stuff done. And I like how light it is, honestly. And you can't really go wrong with Muji. I feel like the paper of Muji, paper quality is pretty good. I also am just using a regular gel pen, so it doesn't really give me that much like room to like have to draw or paint or whatever. So I'm pretty much happy with it, and I love a good craft cover. It's just so nice. It's just so clean, and Muji is pretty much popular for its like clean, minimal aesthetic. So this is like, I'm really excited to use it. Next up is a surprise addition to my lineup. I actually haven't even set it up, but I decided on a whim to get a Midori A6 blank. So the real reason is next release of the Diarist, which is the journal that I made, will be sometime in the fall this year, and I was thinking of working with a smaller size. So the idea was not from me, but I am definitely looking into it and researching into it, so I decided to add this to the mix. So this isn't something new. I've been using the Midori A6 for a really long time now. I think I had like 2 or 3 journals where I finished the Midori A6 size. I'll link it down below for you. I really like the size, and I feel like if I don't have enough space to dump all of the ephemera I have this notebook to accompany me and like put it in. I'm going to say though that I prefer this over Hobonichi's Day Free because I don't like the like quotes and stuff. I like covering them, so just having a blank one is just really clean for me. I'm still deciding if the cover will be the Hobonichi camp cover that I used to have, the Baumkuchen Mojave one, or just a clear one. So that will be in progress, and maybe I'll show you in future videos. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's like, you know, Midori is like always trusted for me, and I'm really excited to just get a head start and like start documenting. Actually, I kept the packaging of Hobonichi and all these things, so I'll probably stick it in on the first few pages as like my Techo Kaigi spread. So yeah. Also, best thing about Midori is they already have a bookmark. You don't really have to worry about that, so you're like basically set to go. So you don't really need a cover that has a bookmark. You can just like actually just have a clear cover and you're good to go. Next up, we have the TN family. I have 2. I actually have 1 more cover and a passport cover coming later this year, which I'll do a video on in the future. But those are ones that I'm going to be using specifically for travel, but these are more like everyday covers that I'm gonna use. So the first one is, of course, the Traveler's Notebook regular size, and this is gonna be my main memory keeping tool. So I have the 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚔 zip case inside, as well as the monthly insert. So this is the monthly, where I'm gonna write highlights about my month. I also actually plan to write in the media that I've consumed, so I have like an overview of like, oh, I watched this week or something, or listen to this podcast, or like usually I'm like in a phase where I'm listening to just one art. I'm in my Taylor Swift Folklore and Evermore phase, like since fall started. I still listen to it every day, so I kind of want to like put it down, and just because that already gives me an idea of like what mood I was during that time. Like, I don't know, is it so random? Because like last year I got into this full like Fleetwood Mac phase and I just never got out of it. So I really want to log those things because those curiosities really help me figure out what I really want to consume more of. So this is the month overview. It's pretty straightforward. That's it. I want to do just like a month overview. Probably gonna track my workouts in one of these, probably here. So I've been committing myself to do more yoga and meditation this year to like be more mindful of my mental health, because I kind of like got off the wagon for like the past few months since I moved. So I'm really definitely diving into that. Oh, this is also a travel plan, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna work on yet, but you'll see a setup video of this in the future, which I'm really excited to share with you. And then this one is the Traveler's Notebook Weekly Vertical, January to June. So it comes in 2 books. So this is the first half of the year. And I really like this, I really like how I designed the front cover, the first cover, whatever you call it. So this one is actually from Karma by Taylor Swift. And it's pretty much the same. It's like weekly vertical. I really like the weekly vertical because last year I really made sure to try it out and I really liked it. So I'm gonna show you a quick look at that. So this was the one from last year. So I only got the July to December because I wanted to see if I could keep up with it, which I managed to. So I guess that means I'm gonna be doing that also this year. So you'll see a full flip through of this in a future video, but I'm really happy with it. So I decided to just go for it and like do full on TN. So weekly vertical, pretty much the same thing. Really looking forward to updating this because it's just less work for me. I used to journal, not every day, but like I used a bigger size layout, bigger size journal, and it just felt like it was just too much energy for me because apart from these inserts, I also have a travel insert that I will always be using. So I don't want to have to like juggle between different sizes, and just having a uniform size is really, really important to me. It just gives me less to think about and more of like, what can I document? How can I document this to my advantage, kind of, if that makes sense. And then this one is a new edition. You know, I never really thought I would use Passport, but here we are and I'm using Passport. So this is the Traveler's Notebook Passport in brown. This is camel, this is brown. I just got this in November. I got it from Kiroku Studio. I felt like every time I like buy covers, I always want to buy it in a place where it feels special. So I got it from Kiroku, and Suna is such a good friend. She's like my 𝚬𝚬, so 𝚬𝚬 is like Chinese for big sister. So I got this from her when I went to Leipzig. And then what I do now with this is basically when I travel, I always bring this because I have an insert. So this is the first, like I have like some card cases, so like put in some calling cards and like, I don't know, there's just a picture of me. I don't know, I just like putting it there, so that's me. And then, you know, stickers and random knickknacks. So I have a zip case also here. It's basically connected, so I do have a lot of stickers that I have to fix from my Singapore trip. But I do have one insert here that's very important. So this is my plans insert. This is just basically a grid insert, and it's a log of things that I did during a trip. So every time I travel, I have to bring this because it's not just me writing about what I did, but also if I have to plan stuff, I want to write my plans before actually doing them, so this exists for that reason. Also, I try to write stuff that I bought. It's something that's very important to me. Like, I don't log all my expenses, but like, I just need to know what happened that day, because like there's so many things that can happen while traveling, and for me it's very important to just like have them straight up like written down, so I know in the future like I have something to refer back to. Also, one thing that I do use with this insert is basically when I do travel journaling and I'm on backlog, this is my way of kind of looking back and referring back, and whether or not I missed a certain detail, I can just look it up again here. So that's why this exists. I know there's like notes app and everything, but I just like having things analog, and usually I carry with me a Kaweco Sport because it just fits right in with the size of the passport. So the other inserts that I have here, this is just a craft folder for my random stuff like boarding passes, tickets, tags. Obviously I haven't sorted out my Singapore trip stuff, it's all there. I also started to bring my sticker release paper insert. I felt like it was just so useful to bring it in. I don't know if I want to add another insert though, so this could vary depending if I'm going to be journaling during the trip or I just need like somewhere to like stamp stuff or like test stuff, so that could change. I usually have like an extra insert on hand so that I know that I'm not running out all the time. But this one has a lot of stickers that I really like using, so it's nice to just have them in one book. So yeah, this is what's currently in here with the craft folder, and I think it's like it comes right to the right amount of chunk. Chunk level is still manageable at the moment, so I really like that. I also really love the charms that I added here. So this is an old traveler's notebook brass suitcase charm that I got from Moranga in Berlin, and then this one was a charm from Van Gogh's Sunflowers that Rania of Cozy Journaler gave to me a few months ago. It's really pretty. I love how it contrasts with the cover. So I also thought I wouldn't like the brown, but actually it's growing on me. Like, this hasn't been with me for long, but look how much scratch it has. I love it. It's like, even if I try to condition them, I do like leather conditioning, it's still scratchy. It gives a lot of character for me, so I really like them. To add to the passport, I actually tried journaling using the passport, so you'll see this in a future video. I don't know if I like it. I feel like it was a bit too much work for me, and I'd rather just use regular inserts. So it also is mega chunk, so I really couldn't put 3 inserts in, just like 2. But yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys a peek of this once I'm done documenting and writing about the trip. Last on the lineup, last but not the least, it's still very plain at the moment. Please bear with me as I'm still decorating in the midst of my deco phase. This is the Diarist, it's the journal I made, it's A5 size, it's dotted, and this is volume 2, which means I added a couple of new prompts in. So for me, it says it's number 3, it means it's my 3rd Diarist journal, because I had one in 2021, I had one in 2022. So what change here is basically the prompts. I just wanted to update it because I felt like these are the prompts that I use more regularly now. So I wanted to improve it but also retain the appearance of it. So in case you're keeping the Diarist like every year or you're having a copy of it, you just like, it's just very uniform on your shelf. So that was the whole idea of it. And I didn't really want to change the spine. Like, I thought like, oh, maybe I'll have it like in green or in rust. I just feel like it doesn't sit well with me. I really like consistency. One thing that I will say though, that this journal, initially I wanted to have my memory keeping on here, but I told you that I wanted to have this like mindset where I'm just using the same size all the time, so that's why I moved it to Traveler's Notebook. And last year, actually, when I finished using the Diarist, it was a big relief for me. I found it too chary already because I was also using a travel journal, a Traveler's Notebook insert to do travel journaling. So it felt like I was doing too many journals all at once. So what I decided to do, because I also do a lot of writing, right? But I felt like I've been like very toxic about it with how I do my dumps. So what I intend to do now this year is I'm gonna have this as like a, you know, it's still a brain dump, but like I have the prompts from the prompt stickers. So every time you get a copy of the Diarist, you have these prompt stickers that I made. because I knew that people would find, like, they're like, oh, there's nothing to journal about. So the idea of these prompt stickers, which you can also purchase separately, is that you can just like pick out a prompt and write from there. So then it's not all also heavy. Like, there's stuff like on my mind, there's also like on the menu, TV film review, so it's just a catch-all basically, and that's what I want to do for this particular journal. Like, I won't also write like every day, like every few days, so just when I remember it. Like, this was like me like trying to hash out a certain thing that I've been going through, so it was pretty long. So I also don't want to like mandate like a certain ink that I'm gonna be using for this, so I really just want to play around and like still use a bit of stationery here and there, but not like serious like journal and like memory keeping, because I'm moving that to Traveler's Notebook. But I will share with you a couple of things that I have done to set up my copy of the Diarist. So this is like a welcome page where I typed out the idea of slow and steady, which is the 2023 words I chose. So I'm gonna read it for you. It says, the entirety of my creative career has been centered on one thing: progress. I've learned to get things done, organize my projects, and always being a better version of myself as every year passes. But what if I don't rush things this time and let life run its course? What if I took more time to appreciate all the hard work that has transpired and allow myself to savor it just for a little while? Because I feel like in the past 7 years that I've been working as an artist and author, it's just been like eating me up alive in ways that I can't really control anymore. So hopefully this year I get to like slow down and like just be more in tune with myself and let things take its course. So I was supposed to do like a month overview thing. I think I forgot about it. But anyway, I do want to share with you this one quickly. This is the 23 things in 2023. It's a bit confidential, but I just want to show you that I was very proud of doing the layout because I love yellow and sunflowers. So this idea is something that I like looking into because I don't have goals, I don't have resolutions, I have work goals, I don't have personal goals. So having this and like separating them into personal, friendships, relationships, health, work, and miscellaneous just helps me see things in big picture. So I've done this in 2021 and 2022 as well. So it's not a very complicated layout, not a complicated setup. I just want to fill this up as I go. So I'm very excited for it. And if you're wondering, the cover is also a Midori Codex, which is the 1-day 1 page. You can find it anywhere these days, and I like that it fits well, but if you have a Hobonichi cousin cover, it also fits well with the Diarist, so either of that really works. So that is it for my 2023 Techo Kaigi. I have to keep getting used to saying Techo. I used to think it was called Techo actually. So that's it for my 2023 Techo Kaigi, aka planners and journals lineup. I do hope your lineup will be great this year as well and use it to your advantage. Remember that doesn't mean that you like have a complete lineup. That means like you have to stay with it, right? You can always like switch up every time you feel like you want to change things up or like experiment a bit more. But yeah, I'm going to put all of the important information in the description below. If you want to know more about like the systems and everything and more setups, I'm going to be adding that to Patreon in the next few months. So you can support me by joining Patreon. It's an art club for artists and makers, and mostly I create exclusive content on journaling and travels. So recently I've added a section there that's like trip itinerary. So I like to tell my patrons where I've been and where to go, specifically stationery shopping, art shopping, museums, bookstores, and coffee shops. Those are the things I always look for when I'm traveling, as well as every month I do have also an exclusive video or tutorial or happy mail for my VIP patrons. So everything is really a way for me to keep creating art and keep making content for you. So if you're keen to join, make sure to check out patreon.com/AbbeyC. The start of the month is always the best time to join because all of the rewards are like trickling down and coming as the weeks go by. So thank you always to all my patrons for making it possible for me to make videos like this and geek out extensively on journals and planners. So before we end this video, let me know what your system is going to be this year, what journals you're looking forward to using. I also have not mentioned that much of the pens and materials, but That's something I'm gonna be talking about in future videos. I definitely want to pace it out more, and I am really excited to share with you a traveler's notebook setup video because that's gonna be next in the list for this January, because I've never used a traveler's notebook system like the full thing. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video and wherever online basically. So Happy New Year again. Happy New Year. I'm gonna keep saying Happy New Year now because it's like very niche. Happy New Year and always be creating. Bye!